Happy 11/11 right now. I didn't mean to start recording this. I wanted to do it earlier actually, but I'm gonna take it as a sign. It's 11/11 and I opened up my laptop and I was like, time to go. Alright, so I haven't cleared space. I'm in a new space, so we'll see how this goes. I am obviously not at my studio right now. I am at home. I'm technically in my homeschooling little room, and this wall is our projector. So we usually have our TV up here, so it's very blank. I brought some decks home, and I didn't even ask, like, what am I covering here today? I felt like I'm getting the sense that I'm just supposed to be speaking directly to the collective today. Because I'm like asking, like, what am I answering? Or what is the dealio? Yeah, what am I answering and how many piles do we want? And it's just, yeah, I'm just directed to speak directly to here. So I think there's something about, I got a couple messages there. Thinning back, I heard. And then also clearing clutter. There's a lot with that, which is ironic because I'm surrounded by clutter at the moment. Even though this doesn't look cluttered. This in front, everything in front of me. Oh, sorry, my band-aid's coming off. Anyway, okay, so we're speaking directly. Okay, so right in my head, I heard high-pitched, high descant, which is usually an indicator of getting closer to God, getting closer to Source, connecting with the aboves. The aboves. And then I also got like a little tingle whenever I was talking about that. I am feeling very, I wanted to say open, receptive. I'm feeling spacious. That's the word I'm looking for. There's like a sensation of, yeah, receiving. I just am getting like this sense. And I have a bunch of tarot cards here around me and like oracle card decks and stuff, but I'm not quite led to anything yet. As soon as I said it, they're like, actually, we could pull one. All right. Okay. So this one says, why am I sticky? Why am I sticky? This is what happens when you try to film at home when you have two kids. Hold on a second. I'm sticky. Where did that come from? Where did she come from? Where did she go? Where did she come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Oh my gosh, I'm looking for wipes and I can't find anything now. Because I moved them. Okay, I got. Okay, pardon me. Like, what the heck, man? Where did that even come from? I have no idea. But now we've got the baby wipes. Welcome to my home. Oh my gosh, I'm dumb, guys. I'm dumb. Y'all just witnessed it. Do you remember when I pulled off my Band-Aid? Oh my gosh, it's from my Band-Aid. It's sticky from my Band-Aid. Duh. Oh my gosh. Here I am blaming my children. Sorry, guys. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. See, I'm trying to make everything a metaphor. But for real, this was in reverse. It's begin. And it says, may you start as if you have already begun. But the message is, we're not starting anything right now. We're not doing. We are opening. That is the doing, is the opening. I just heard, tell them about the Milky Way. So, I'm going to tell you about the Milky Way, guys. Okay. I might not have heard that correctly. I think it's more like tell them about other ways, not Milky Way. Okay. All right. So the other ways. Okay. So then I heard, yes, tell them about the other ways of being open, of beginning. So, like, okay. It can be a new journey because we're not necessarily beginning anything new right now, okay? It's about thinning back, but that can be new. I got this sense of, like, I literally ripped off my bandage, you know? And I was left with a sticky mess. What the heck? Where'd that come from? And so there's this sense of, see, I told you metaphors. And there's this sense of looking at your wounds, looking at your, I'm getting tickled, looking at your insecurities. Sorry, my puppy just yawned. She was cute. Looking at your insecurities, looking at the areas that could use some improvement. But the idea right now is not to improve on them. Yes and no, I heard. So there are some areas like we do want some forward momentum on, but that can, a lot of this is going to be more subtle energies of like pulling back your energy and like really getting honest about things that are hindering progress. So it's more reflective. It's more about noticing, and it's about the awareness aspect of the journey. So like, okay, I come from a background where in marketing, there are like 3 stages generally, as long as we're like, to make it easier for everyone involved, like clients and stuff, there are 3 points in the journey. The first part is the planning phase. They call it the discovery phase, where you meet a client and you ask the questions and you gauge where they are, what they need, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you can hear that, but that was my little 2.5-year-old running around screaming. Enjoy, thankfully. The discovery phase. And so I feel like in this, oh, don't you judge me either, Sasha. Rude. Anyway, we're in the discovery phase right now, and it's about identifying distractions. I love them. And finding healthy ways to cope with life's circumstances. That's what I'm hearing. And this is for everyone. And I'm hearing, it's not for everyone, but it's for everyone that finds you specifically. This could be good for them. I'm being pulled. What can I help you with? Okay. All right. So I'm getting a lot of this, there is a reason why I am sitting in my little homeschooling area here, surrounded by family at this time. And a lot of that has to do with, it doesn't matter what age you are, you always have something to learn. You always have something to learn. Always. And I'm staring at myself too. And I'm also staring at, like, there's like a shrine in front of me for love. Especially humans have a lot to learn about love and about how to receive it and how to, I'm not hearing that we're giving it. We are giving it. We're not overextending ourselves, I just heard. Cool. Balance. Tell me more. I want to learn more. How long are we doing this? How long are we staying open and receptive and in this reflective period? Let's get answers. Cool. I like when I can get answers. Judgment. Rebirth, action, renewal, judgment, inner calling, absolution, forgiveness, and awakening led to the word awakening and rebirth. Yeah, so for some of you, this could be a new journey. This could be brand spanking new, where you're sitting with yourself and you are really reflecting on distractions. I'm feeling very called to tell you, like, actionable steps in how to get through this period of time. And I wonder if You may be subconsciously or very actively seeking validation, seeking answers. And in that, you are skirting, I heard skirt, you're skirting responsibility in that the only person who is truly going to know how you want to proceed in your individual life and towards your calling or passions or, I heard ideas. The only person that is going to be able to fully know those answers is you. Tuning into yourself. Oh yeah, so just a bit ago, I really have never watched this show before, but I felt like doing it, and I started watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians for the first time in my life. I might have seen like an episode or two out there, and only like 10 minutes of it where I'm like half paying attention to it, you know. But this time around, I watched the first episode of a season. I think it's like season 5 or something like that. And it had my full attention because I was just eating food with it. I just picked a show and I'd never seen it and I started watching it. And no judgment, other than the judgments I have heard other people place on the Kardashian sisters and stuff like that. What was the relevance of this? Yeah, there is a lot about societal pressures. Where was I going with that? Oh, the seeking validation. Okay. In it, a lot of what makes up these reality TV shows and everything, it's all very vocal. It's all very putting their insecurities out, talking to other people, asking what they should do, because the drama arises in other people giving their opinions about other people's lives, and then the people who ask the questions not agreeing with it or agreeing with it. And it's that collaboration, that communication that creates the drama, or it creates the collaboration. It creates the the interest, the I don't know what the word I'm looking for. The anticipation. There's something with the entertainment value comes from opening yourself up, asking questions, and getting judged, essentially. And hearing how other people and their character and roles and stuff judge you based on that. And so we watch it in reality TV show, and it's entertaining because it allows you to dive into some random person's life and project yourself in that same situation and wonder how you would react and stuff. What we have to understand is these people are constantly, like, for a show, specifically for a show, because it's about the storyline, they are voicing insecurities, voicing that they don't know how to do things, voicing that they want to do things, but people are going to judge them out loud. It's the human experience only on steroids, because, like, generally we don't go around talking so openly about our insecurities or vulnerabilities and stuff. So, like, us watching other people do it in a status of, like, high income and, like, all the things that you want in life makes it seem, first of all, that we should be also doing this. So unfortunately, it kind of like gives this negative coping mechanism. We don't have to care what other people think about our lives. Full stop. Period. You know? Full stop. We don't have to care. However, if you're running a business, sometimes you have to care. If you have clients, you have to care. I'm pulling a card. In reverse, we have... What are you? 8 of Cups. Manifestation, practicality, skill, absolute decisions, business. What was I just saying? The ego. However, I pulled it in reverse. Hopeless, indecision, withdrawal, drifting, fear of change. And so we might actually be dealing with a lot of these overwhelming insecurities inside our brain. Whoever you are. The first thing I read was resistance to change. Yeah, there are fears, and we can get answers. This was the death card, by the way, but it's in reverse. Yeah. So there's the resistance to change that will help you in your life, which is why I just heard full stop again. Which is why this time period is about surrendering. It's about... That's interesting. I'm saying that's interesting because when I said surrendering, I didn't like that word. We're not doing that, actually. But we are full stopping. I'm like, when I did this, again, I heard full stop, stop, stop. And I feel like there's a lot with boundary setting. Another word that had popped out to me, and I forget what card it was on, was escapism. And it had a lot to do with what and I'm getting tingles. Sorry, I need to drink water. Oh. My throat keeps closing up, and that's unusual for me, personally. And I get this sense that whenever I was talking about how watching the Kardashians, because it's story-based, and we're literally trying to watch like somebody's story, so they overly give details that they wouldn't normally do in their own specific life. They have conversations that wouldn't really take place because these are very secure, confident women running businesses. You know, they would know who to go to for advice and stuff like that. So it's just an illustration. You know, it's just like an example. And because we sometimes lose sight of the fact that they're overly pushing a story, we might then accidentally think that we should be going around to other people and asking what their input is and caring. I'm sorry. It makes me... It sounds arrogant when I put it like that. A little bit like, I don't care what you think. You shouldn't, though. And, like, that's a hot take, maybe. But it has to come from the right people. The right people need to hear this. The people that are having a hard time setting healthy boundaries and... this enmeshment. Ooh, interesting. Good word. Bad word, but good word. Some people so keen on people pleasing. I love that. Ooh, keen. What a great word. Bad word. Good word, though. So sorry, guys. I'm weird tonight. I'm at home. I get weird at home. I'm more comfortable here, obviously. People keen on people pleasing, which is also a very it can be a very negative coping mechanism. And my throat keeps wanting to stop up. It doesn't want me to tell you about that. And it's true, because people who are people pleasing have a hard time speaking how they actually feel for themselves. Their decision making comes from here. It comes from putting your head thoughts together with your heart thoughts. That's where that comes from. And I just heard that can be in business and in love. And I'm just led and led and led to the death card in reverse, resistance to change and stagnation. And my throat is just closing up, man. Closing. And I feel like there's this sense of shut up. Just shut up. You're all talk and no play. Makes Jack a dull boy. I'm combining sentences there. Your words are getting you in trouble. And they're stressing you out. They're stressing other people out. So there's a need to thin back and recover, I just heard, your true self. But yeah, that word, escapism. I forget where I saw it. It was very in passing. But obviously watching TV can be an escape. Overly consuming and playing video games. An escape. So there's a lot here with looking at your escapes. And now escapes can be fine when in balance. A vacation is technically an escape, and it's a very necessary one. There are times when you are in negative environments where you literally need a full stop escape. And so what do we want for them? What do we want for you? Ooh, goodness me. Yeah, I already kind of knew some of this right before I pulled it. Oh my goodness, pardon me. I got the sense that we want you to get connected to your feelings. Knock, 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 here are your feelings. And I pulled the King of Wands. And right before I pulled the King... Oh, I'm so sorry. What am I talking about? Wands are air. Wands are fire. Meh. I mean, dependent on the people. But for some reason, I heard in my head that this was a King of Wands. Nope. That it was a King of Cups. I kept seeing cups before I pulled this. Why is that? Okay. And then I just heard, I need a change will do you good. Okay, so if this is fire, water helps cool it down a bit. And water is that more going with the flow. It's that, I keep wanting to say receptive, but it is like a feminine energy, yin. Sorry, when I do this, I know this might seem weird, and I don't even notice it a lot of the times, but whenever I'm letting my guides and everyone know that I'm listening, I'll tap, and I go like this, and I'm like, here I am, and I usually get like a download. So if you're new to my channel, literally my channeling, just so you know, that's what's happening. I'm like, hey guys, my antenna is up. What up, y'all? But yeah, I got really confused though, because I kept wanting to say that this was the cups. Like, I kept seeing in my mind's eye it was a cups, and I was going to pull like the Queen of Cups or the King of Cups and stuff. But no, this is the Wands. And I was led to the word visionary. And power. My projector just turned itself on too. So let me get some messages here. Okay. I'm still getting this sense where you need a break. You need a full stop. You need to like put your hands up, step away from a situation, and then take stock. And then I just heard that high descant again, and I saw 2222. Of like connecting with your guides, connecting with your higher self, and looking inward. I think that full stop might also be you're putting a lot of your fears and insecurities out into the world, but you're not actually taking anything in. You're not actually learning and growing and taking information. Like, say I'm a Kardashian sister and I go to another Kardashian sister. I'm not actually listening to what they're saying, and I'm taking that same question to another Kardashian sister. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. You're seeking answers, but not listening to your answers. You don't have to listen to others' answers, but it should give insight into how you feel. But if you're not listening to it, okay. I got joy in reverse. May you pursue what lights you up. Yeah. And I just keep hearing over and over, full stop. That's it. So if you're like, okay, I just heard creature of habit. Addiction can also be a creature of habit type of situation. And we did get the death card in reverse. And sometimes that has a lot to do with I don't want to change. Or I do want to change, but I'm not changing. I'm not following the call. My throat is closing up again. Every time I go to that death card in reverse, my throat starts to close up. And I feel like there's just like this, you are aware. Oh, listen to this. I love this. Okay, so, energy healing. Reiki teacher, master, person, that's me. And so a lot of the way that I think about all of this life, is through subtle energies and where we hold tension in the body and why, you know? And so if we have a throat that's closing up, it instantly signals to me trauma response. Because in the back of the head, is where we get the most tension. Sometimes our shoulders raise and we make ourselves kind of small. And that usually, listen to me, usually comes from a situation in your childhood, because the shoulders represent home. It represents support, blood relative support, just support in general. But if you grew up in an environment, which is usually just our family, and this soothing of the shoulders was not there, the calming of the nervous system did not occur, you go through your entire life worried what people are going to think, making yourself small, and looking up to them to be like, oh, what should I do? And it puts a lot of tension in the lower back of the skull. That same tension affects your thyroid. It affects your ability to speak, sing. Singing comes from joy. It can also come from guilt and all kinds of feelings, But to be able to express them to yourself mainly to yourself. You don't need an audience if you don't want it. But to fully express it and get it out of your body, get it out of your system, cough it out, this needs to open. So I'm specifically drawn towards whoever is finding this, it is time to full stop. Stop saying things that you don't mean. Stop making promises that you don't keep, or you don't want to keep. And get honest about what you want. And start saying, acting, living your life that way, so that you can start to trust yourself again and your voice. I just keep hearing, and a change will do you good, will do you good. And that connection to spirit. Yeah, I'm led again to the word rebirth on the judgment card here. And when I read the word rebirth, I want to go, what? There, you did it. Ow! That hurts. My daughter is singing right now, so. Yeah, my daughter is singing right now. Can I pull them any other information? Okay. All right. Okay. Ooh, love that. Powerful. May you be as potent as the ocean. I don't know why I said it that way. Don't mind me. But power has been sticking out. Like the King of Wands is about power. There's this fire energy, which is very decisive. And I'm not getting, like, I keep thinking of, like, sometimes, and this is just my Virgo in me, where I'm just kind of judgy about fire signs, where I'm like, they're so rash. They just, like, so impulsive. Like, can't you guys chill out and just, like, just enjoy, man? Just become one with the moss. I get that every now and then. I have some fire placements. So, but I feel like an Avatar, where, like, Avatar The Last Airbender, where, like, I have water placements, I have fire placements, I have air placements, I have earth placements, so I have a bunch all over the place, and so I feel, don't mind me, so grounded, so balanced, not quite, but I can relate. However, I do tend towards being like, fire signs. Maybe it's because I got burned every now and then. Ignoring my bias for a second, okay? Fire signs. You're powerful. You've got some power in there. And my throat just wanted to dry out again. Okay, so we're in summer. Full stop. It is very easy to get carried away with the heat, with the, like, people fight more. There's more there's more crime that happens in the summer generally because, like, if you live in a place that has all four seasons, the warmer weather gets more people out. People don't always get along. I don't know if you know this. And so fights occur. Okay. And now I was like, I asked for a song because I wasn't connecting with this energy at the moment because I was too judgmental about the fire signs. And I heard, Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style once more. Yeah, I feel like there's like gonna be a rebirth. On that note about like not getting along with other people, I do feel like there is a bit of rebirth, and if you are honest about what you want, what you don't want, things like that, and you put aside people-pleasing notions and impulses and get very in alignment with your fire power of deciding, like truly decision made. Huh. And yet, when I said decision made this time around, it actually wanted to pull you in. And so I feel like there are some decisions in love, decisions in what you want towards your life, the goodness, because we did have joy in reverse and wants to be upright for you. May you pursue what lights you up. And that Moon River song came out. It is soothing that fire energy, but we do want the fire energy there. We want the fire energy with all their decisiveness. We just want it, we want it balanced. And I think the Moon River and the fact that I pulled a powerful card in how it relates to water, we want this for you. We want them to kiss. I just heard we want them to kiss and we want them to make up. We want them to love each other. We want them to make peace with one another. So if this is for love for you, if you know what I'm talking about, and only take it if it resonates, because oh my god, if you're in a relationship and you're with a fiery energy and your full body, your fully expressive throat chakra is saying no, full stop, you listen to that part. And you go and you find the one that you want to go. You just want to love on, and you just, yes, let's make. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a little PG-13 there. Okay. Funny because I also at one point the word maturity stuck out to me. Where did I see that one? Huh? Who done it? Where's the maturity? Huh? I know I saw it. Come on, where is it? Come on, where is it? You gotta be out here somewhere, huh? No, it wasn't you. No, it wasn't. Oh, you're over here. No, it wasn't you. I don't know. I just made it up. No, I'm kidding. No, there is like a sense of what you do want, you call it in. That's mature. What you don't want, you push away. Mature. But if we're saying we do want something and we don't, rude, first of all. And if we're saying we don't want something but we do, troubled, like self-sabotage. Come on, man. And I know I sound so judgy. What I hear the way that I give collective readings, and it's definitely Virgo-y. Like, it's definitely like, you guys are stupid, you should be doing this. It's so Virgo. Whereas like I've heard other readings and they mainly blame other people, like, oh, these people are coming after you and stuff. I'm like, no, you're coming after your own life. This only resonates with the people who are sitting right here. So if you see other tarot readings, and this is by the way escapism as well, if you resonate mainly with tarot readers who are saying they're coming after you and they lead with fear, that's not God. That's not love. That's not for your highest and best good. Why are you going there? Get honest. Why are you going there? The drama, you want You want this sense of finding justice in thinking that people are getting karma, you know? Who cares? You're not in their lives. They're not in your lives. The things that are in your life, hopefully, you want. So I'm here as the tough love Virgo who has a bias towards fire signs, even though she has fire placements too. So if you're here for that, if you want the tough love, if you're here with a growth mindset, with a growth mindset. I pulled a card for you. Wasn't I just saying you wanted justice? This is justice in reverse. We are not always going to know. Physically speaking, we are never going to fully know if someone who wronged us is getting karma. We don't know their life story. We don't know if they deserve the amount of karma that we wish upon them. You know? Stuff like that. So what can you do, huh? You live in your life. If you do find you tend to be open and receptive and have a big old antenna for how people feel about you, and you're concerned about that, or you're just in general like spiritually open and you can kind of hear whispers about how people might feel about you, this is your friendly reminder to full stop, set up some cord cutting for yourself. Remind yourself that if you gravitate towards readings that are saying they're getting their justice right now, stuff like that, you're actually feeding into your own insecurities. Ooh, I know. It hurts. I know. And I do it too, okay? I'm not, like, foolproof. And sometimes I will go towards those readings because I can look past that sensationalism, or I can read the cards in a different way that other people are reading them, because, you know, we all read our cards with a little bit of our own bias, especially if it's a collective message, because, like, who else would I be reading for? I am my own person right now. I am me. And while I parallel other people, and I could be picking up on their specific energy, it is not just their energy. It is their energy channeled through my experiences. I'm a human being. You're a human being. We're humans. In case you didn't know that. This is just weird. I don't like commenting on this and saying, like, these tarot readers don't know what they're talking about. Yes, they do. They do. They really do. However, the words of advice are, who gives a shit about people who wronged you out there getting karma or not? Who really cares? You do. Why is that? That's the important question to ask yourself. That's the stuff you gotta work through for your rebirth. To feel powerful. And I just heard, just you wait, Henry Higgins, just you wait. Which is like that immaturity energy. It's brass. It's lower frequencies. It's like root chakra survival. Eliza Doolittle from My Fair Lady in the beginning was very and just like spoke and spoke and spoke, and definitely full of insecurity. Didn't really filter herself. Didn't have too much consideration for those around her. She was just like this flippy floppy, like, why won't people listen to me? Why don't people show me respect? What is going on? And stuff like that. And it took Henry Higgins with his tough love and honesty about, like, hey, if you sound like a fool, people will treat you like a fool. That kind of mentality. So then she's like, the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain, you know, and went through her transformation. She went through her rebirth. And then it kind of melded the two together because, yes, she was kind of playing a role. She was playing this diplomatic, posh, uppity Doolittle. When in reality, she had that toughness. She had that root chakra fire decisiveness. No, she wasn't too decisive. She was kind of she really wanted people to listen to her and to help, and like, oh my god, I've been wronged. You know, things like that. That's just you wait, Henry Higgins. Are you in that energy? I'm occasionally in that energy. So, like, I'm looking at you guys. I'm not here. Ooh, then it said to, like, no. No, you do pretty okay. You do pretty okay. Alright. So I'm a little judgy on myself. But I do get in that energy every now and then. I'm waiting to be smited again. I was like, do I? Oh, do I sound indecisive? Okay. I got other information there because I like actionable steps. Ooh. Oh, I caught a lot there. I wasn't ready for those. Okay. Oh shit, I already forgot some of it. Okay. I got distracted by the word dishonesty really quickly, and I'm still led to throat chakra. Okay. And now I see it. Every time that I said, I was like, oh, but I sometimes wish, like, there's karma that happens on other people. And then I got a singe in my chest every time I said that. Every time. And that was because I would question right away. I was like, oh, wait, do I, though? Oh, but do I? Oh, I don't know, but maybe I don't. And that can kind of get you to spiral. And that happens when you're going against your soul, like your soul recognition. Like you recognize in yourself what is true for your soul, like on a soul level. And I think that's what we started this whole reading out with, was I heard that high-pitched note, that connection to spirit and to God and a higher source, is that soul recognition. It is that recognizing what your soul wants. Your fucking soul. Your soul. Not your human experience. So it's like breaking out of the matrix a little bit. That is happening right now, I'm hearing. And it's interesting because I'm also getting this message of taking control of your physical body and compartmentalizing things. So, like, your soul recognition comes from deep reflection. It comes from, like, stepping back from things, separating from distraction, and letting in what feels good on a soul level. So how do we recognize what feels good on a soul level? Reveal. May openness lead you to connection. Yeah. So we recognize by opening. Because again, whenever I was saying, like, we step back from distractions, I still wasn't getting that. I was getting more, it's more impactful, it's more supportive if you just open up to receive and you move towards what brings you joy. There, I am getting, like, the justice in reverse, I feel like, is a lot of the sensations or the destructive feelings you're putting on yourself, the guilt you're putting on yourself, that things that are weighing your self-worth down, and it's unnecessary. So, like, even if you are thinking negative thoughts towards other people, you're not a bad person. It makes you human. You're human. I forget what I was saying. Openness to receive. We want you to move closer to what brings you joy. How do we do that? How do we know if we're in soul recognition? Well, it's going to be revealed to you if you are open and it leads you to connection. Anything else? And then I pulled the Justice. I was talking about the Justice card previously in reverse. Now I remember. Because you were putting all of this guilt, you were putting, you were thinking, oh, then I just, oh my god, dishonesty. You were being dishonest. And then I just heard, no, I wasn't. Very quickly. Very quickly after I said that. No, I wasn't. Someone in your life was. And now I'm pulling another card for you. Oh yeah, they've been wanting me to say this and I keep forgetting. So I wrote a song once called Gratitude is the Attitude of Joy. Or I don't think I gave it a name actually, but the lyrics are, gratitude is the attitude of joy. Gratitude is the attitude of fun. So open your heart and let the sun shine in. Because gratitude is the attitude of fun. I forget my lyrics. Let's have fun. I'm grateful for, and then you say something you're grateful for. Do, 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 do. And I'm also grateful for, and then you say another thing that you're grateful for. Do, 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 do. And one more thing I'm grateful for is, and then you say another thing that do, 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 do. And the last thing I'm also grateful for is do, 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 do. That's the song. It's like childish. It's playful. But it gets the idea across of of gratitude. Gratitude. May you honor all that you receive. I receive. I got lots of chills with that, and I also sounded testify, However, I also recently made a gratitude jar for me and my kids, and my daughter was asking about it. I was like, okay, well, this is where we write down things we are grateful for. And the concept and trying to teach what gratitude means is kind of difficult. And so with kids, you start out with, what do you love? What do you enjoy? And she's like, I like TV. And she can write TV because she's 4. So she writes TV. And she's like, I'm grateful for pigs because she likes pigs. And so she wrote the word pig with an S. And so we put that in there. But, things I put in there, family, my home, and my pets. And I feel like a great way to practice receiving what you do want and taking in what you do want in life is to be grateful. But it doesn't mean forcing it. And so start being playful with it. If you need my song, here's my song again. I'm not singing it again, but there's my song. You can go back to it. You can feel free to listen to it. And then just ask yourself every day, like, what are 3 things? You don't have to write it down. You don't have to get all, special. But if you want to, go for it. If it feels right to you to put like a ritual with it, do it. You can pray. You can do whatever. But take a moment each day to really go, I am grateful for this. I want more of this. I would like this. And for heaven's sakes, do not start saying, I don't want this though. I don't want that. Because then your mind goes to what you don't want and why you don't want it. We want you to stay focused on the joy. We want you to stay focused on what you do want, which means you have to start saying, I really like this because it does this. I really like my house because it keeps me dry from weather and I'm not scared. Stuff like that. I feel safe here. Stuff like that. Just like things that you can honestly say. Get in the habit of replacing any negativity. Any negativity. We don't want that for you right now. Full stop. What we do want for you is what you want. I'm grateful for and I'm also grateful for and one more thing I'm grateful for is I feel like I'm like a self-helpy tarot reader. And I feel bad about that a little bit. Like, I feel like I'm telling people what to do. And that's rude. Unless you ask, right? All right, decide. May you navigate with purpose. Make decisions for your life that make your life what you want your life to be. God! What was I saying about being self-helpy? All right, I just pulled 10 of Wands in reverse, and I'm led to the word, help me, careless. Okay, yeah, so there's a lot here with, I think I put that other card back. Oh, it came right back out. Okay, here it is. Purpose. We're talking about purpose now. We're talking about carelessness, intention. Oh, God, there's so much with, like, decision-making, dishonesty, and intention. What else can I help them with? I feel like this is just bringing up more questions. Okay, and then once again, I'm hearing connection with source, connection with a higher higher. I almost said higher salary. Abundance, with abundance, connecting with abundance. Navigate. Purpose. Yeah, sorry. Distracted there a little bit. We're going to the words purpose. We're going to the words intentional. Powerful. Potent. Why are we going to potent? No, they're just one power. Okay. Yeah. All right, what is the connection with intention and power? They're like, oh, we're so glad you asked. The connection with... The connection with intention and power is insecurity. So if you don't feel like you are powerful, you are not going to feel purposeful. If you don't feel like you matter, you're not going to feel like your life matters. You're not going to feel like your choices matter. You're not going to feel powerful, obviously. So I pulled a Queen of Cups in reverse. How do we get you this way, though? Emotionally stable was what I was led to. I'm calling it. I'm saying it out loud, you hotheads. You bunch of hotheads. I just still get the sense that some of you might resort to overly talking and not kindly and not for the consideration of all, which I'm here to say you don't need to consider other people. However, your soul cares about other people. And so there is a way, I just heard the word disgrace. Okay. There is a way to be more graceful in how you articulate or not. You don't even have to say anything. Your grievances. What you don't like that is happening in your life. Because contrast is an important aspect of understanding what you do want in life. So there is a necessary stage where you're like, no, not that. I'm going this way. Kind of like Cartman. I just heard Cartman going, screw you guys, I'm going home. Yeah, for reals though. Yeah, I'm led to compassionate. We want you a Queen of Cups, male or female. We want you a Queen of Cups. We want you in line with your own emotions. We want you to have a little grace for other people and their experiences. All right, who is this message for? Present. May you sense each shiver of the surf. Emotional waves. There are ups and downs in life. This is building resilience. Right now, we're at a stage where we're like pulling back our energy to receive. There's a receptive energy. So like when you're swimming, there's that wand energy of propelling yourself forward. We are in the stage of the exhale, where we are bringing the water back. Does that make sense? So like you're spearing forward, but right now we are pulling our energy back. But at the same time that we're pulling our energy back, we are also pulling in the surf. Kind of like how the water goes in and out. So we're being waterbenders right now. Anything else? Gratitude. Gratitude is going to... I just heard like, I'm doing it. I'm receiving. I'm doing it. I'm receiving. And we are in the I'm receiving time right now. I feel like my energy is petering out because as soon as I do I'm receiving, I get really sleepy. Sleepy and happy. Yes. 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 Opportunities, choices, imagination, wishful thinking, options, fantasy, daydreaming, choices. Oh, girl or boy. Keeps bringing me back to decision making. Keeps bringing me back to choices. What do you want to do? That's the main thing I keep hearing is, what do you want to do? What does your soul want to do? What is fun? What are you grateful for? Maybe that's what we need to start with. Not what you want to do, because that can feel like an overwhelming thing to consider. What do you enjoy? And just make a big master list of things that you enjoy. And then that's it. That's step one, is make a list. Why can't I speak? Make a master list of all the things you are grateful for that you enjoy. That's the overlap. You gotta enjoy it. Because you can be grateful for experiences that kind of sucked. You can. You can manipulate yourself into believing that you actually were grateful for that. I mean, in hindsight, you can say, yeah, it taught me this. But there will always be a part of you that's like, no, screw that. Absolutely no way. And I think we need to get more in touch with the honesty of saying, full stop, screw that experience. Absolutely not in my house. No, no, no. I think that is the energy that you would really benefit from activating. I just heard. I love that word. However, baby steps. Baby steps means, what are you grateful for? Let's not focus on that. Absolutely not. Full stop. Hell no. Let's not think of that. However, if you're putting together this master list of things you're grateful for and love, and you come across experiences where you feel on the fence about, practice saying, oh my God, I love that. And if your heart goes, probably not fully true. And then practice the same thing, going, oh my God, I hated that. And see if that resonates. And if it said, I hate that, try to find something that's opposite of it and do the same thing. Like, gauge yourself. Okay. So in spirituality, sometimes we have a pendulum. I don't think I have one at home with me. But it's like a string, and it usually has like a crystal on the end of it. And you hold it up and you ask it questions. And sometimes you have like a little pad that says yes, no, maybe on the sides. And you ask your pendulum a question, and it's supposed to help you get in tune with what you actually do or don't want. There is a cheat code with a pendulum. Work in a pendulum. You can tell it to do whatever you want it to do. It really depends on how much you can manipulate yourself, how much you can just like intuitively put out that power. That is a power. I'm here to let you know. The power of influence, the power to deceive, that is a power. Can we use it for good though? Can we please? Promise? Okay. Now, what was I thinking here? Yes, soul's purpose. We want to get you intentional. We want to get you honest. We want to get you decisive. Oh my God, what the heck? In my mind's eye, I saw myself picking this up and ripping it. What the heck? No! But, yeah, that felt impulsive. And I wanted to rip apart the present moment. I'm so scared now. Like, I don't trust myself. That urge, that intrusive thought, I did not like that. No, what the heck? I'm still mad. Like, I still had this urge to rip it. What the heck? Okay, do we have something I can rip? Because I don't want to touch my poor little deck. Oh. Journey. Okay, so things aren't happening in the present moment right now. It does feel very stagnant. You're on a journey. Doesn't feel like you're on a journey because you are stagnant. Oh. Okay, so this is for some people. It's not for everyone. Some of you, oh my gosh. Some of you, we do want to activate energy. We do want to activate doing things, not doing things, I heard. Kind of doing things, I heard. Reflecting. There's an escapism. Where are you going? What are you doing? But I am hearing vacation. And we do want that for you. What the heck, man? I'm feeling pulled. Pulled in different energies. Some of you need a vacation. Some of you need a vacation, but instead of taking a vacation, you're divvying out your energy through things you don't actually fully want to do, but you're doing them because it's a habit. That's what I'm hearing. And now I've got this softness to me, and I turn journey upside down, and it feels sad. May you seek adventure. So I'm getting this sense that some of you don't think that you are capable of starting this journey. Like there is that self-confidence thing. But now I'm tuning into a sad energy. And this wasn't here prior to that. And we are trying to follow joy. So my advice is the same. Is write a master list. And I just heard eliminated. And it led me to the word temptation. Interesting. And then I just heard, what'll I do when you are far away and I am blue? What'll I do? That's an old churchy song, but it's about love. Kind of. You're yawning at me. I know I'm talking a while. Is there anything else I need to say? I feel like I've talked a lot. Any other messages here? Bum, bum, bum. Play in reverse. We want play upright for you. We do want you to embrace your joy. We want to... I feel like I'm speaking to a different group of people, or maybe the same people who are now in the next stage of like beating themselves up, being like, well, why couldn't I connect with joy to begin with? Why am I just a depressed person? That's not very fair. I must be doing it to myself. And in a sense, kind of. But like, please don't beat yourself up. That's not going to help. Yeah, don't do that. That should help more. Duh. I'm kidding. Trust me. I went through a whole journey of trying to love myself and make it through my own depression. And when I say depression, I mean like I was out for myself. I tried to take myself out multiple times. And by the grace of God, here I am. And now you get me telling you what to do on a screen. Like I know what I'm doing. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how I survived. I'm here. There's a reason. And actually, my son just cried, and he's definitely a reason why I'm here. And I'm grateful that I'm here. I'd put him the top of my list of things I'm grateful for, including my daughter, my son. I almost said the Holy Spirit. Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. You know, stuff like I got churchy. Okay, so I'm going to take him crying as a sign to clean up a little bit. Get powerful with it. Jesus is with you. If you're Christian-y, it didn't like that. God is with you. Source is with you. Power is with you. But I am getting a lot of like Christian-y downloads, so you might find yourself being very Christian-y. Are you Christian-y? That's so rude. Religious. Pardon me. I don't know what this hair is doing. I pulled the Queen of Swords in reverse. Dismissive. I am being dismissive. Okay, I gotta go. I wish you guys best. Make that gratitude list, okay? I'll check in with you. Let me know what would be at the top if you feel like sharing. I'm gonna go get my sad son and give him a hug, okay? Alright, bye guys.